Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. It is time for our Thursday free training on working on strengthening our relationship, especially those of us who've been together with our partner for over 10 years and are feeling like we're in roommate mode. My name is Katie Rössler. I am a relationship strategist and licensed counselor, and I have worked in the field of psychology for over 20 years. So I love to help couples who've been together for quite a while figure out how to break out the patterns that are keeping them stuck. I love doing these talks on Thursdays because it gives us a chance to kind of start to recognize patterns that we're stuck in that we want to get out of. But what we're going to do today is focus a little more on positive patterns that we want to get into. Now, our Thursday trainings are free, but on Friday, I actually give very specific rebuild methods in helping your relationship grow stronger. Things you can do over the weekend into next week together, workbooks, worksheets, as well as scripts to help you guys grow stronger. My method is called the rebuild method because I believe the longer that we're together, we've gained all this wisdom, and yet we're still doing our relationship the same way. Like within the first couple of years of our relationship, we get stuck in these patterns. And sometimes we got to tear down the old and rebuild to the 2.0 or the 3.0 or maybe even the 4.0 of our relationship. And that's really important to me to give practical tools to couples so they know how to have these difficult conversations or not so difficult when you start to follow a framework. So today we're going to talk about small habits that keep couples close for decades. And one of the things that I find really interesting is often we think we've got to do these like big things to connect, right? Like big birthday gifts, like we got to go away on vacation every year together to finally get away from real life. But the healthiest couples have learned the trick. And the trick is every day to intentionally be present in your relationship and connect, to just be present, to do little things that show your partner that they matter, to ask curious questions so that they know that you care, and to share gratitude so that they know that they're valued. And when we do that towards each other each day in small ways, it builds up. Some people like to use the analogy of a bank, like a love bank. And so you're putting deposits in. Some people like to see it as a house, and we're building that foundation and making sure the structure is strong. Whatever analogy works for you. I like to think of it as fertilizer. You put a seed in the ground and it starts to grow. You don't then immediately put it in the closet in the dark. No, you continue to make sure it's placed in the right area of the garden with the right amount of sun and some fertilizer for it. You trim off the sections that aren't working anymore for it, that are draining it, and make sure that it's able to really bloom and grow. It's the same with a relationship. So let's talk about, I've got 7 habits for you guys. If you've got pen and paper, that's really good. So you can sort of jot these down. And you can do your own kind of self assessment. Hey, do we do these things or what areas can we work on? But if you're a paid subscriber, then tomorrow we'll have a more in depth way for you to assess how we're connecting. What are the ways that we're trying to connect that are not working? Because sometimes our attempts at connection actually hurt the relationship. So it's going to teach you how to identify what those things are. Even the best intentions can fall flat. And so that'll be tomorrow. So make sure if you're not one of our paid subscribers, you come and join the community. You get a chance to ask me questions, but also, again, every Friday, get a resource you can use over the weekend with your partner. Okay, let's get into the 7 habits. Habit number 1, healthy couples stay curious. They realize that they are growing constantly. They're changing, they're developing. And the only way to really get to know their partner is to ask curious questions and not assume they know everything about their partner. Yes, a lot of us could probably answer what our partner would answer about XYZ, but what are your partner's dreams right now? What are their aspirations? What do they hope will happen in the next 5 to 10 years for them, for your relationship, for your family? Do you know those things? Or do you assume you know those things based off of how they used to answer or who they used to be? So when we stay curious, it allows us to stay flexible to our changes and our partner's changes. I hear very often, my partner's not who I married. And I go, good. I'd be worried if they were. They need to grow and change. What they're trying to say is, I don't like who my partners become. And often, why we don't like who our partners become is because we weren't following them on their journey of growth and change. And they weren't following us most times, too. And in the process, one day we woke up and we're like, oh, I don't like that you're this. I don't like that you respond this way. Instead of co growing together, right? Collaborating on our growth, we tend to then get on two separate train tracks and live like roommates. So, when we take the time to be curious, not assume that we know what the other person is thinking or wanting, what their needs are, when we get curious about who they are, what they're interested in, and we're willing to, just like in the beginning of a relationship, join them in that process and learn about them in that way, it really builds a greater, healthier foundation. Okay, habit number two, they repair quickly. Now, I have done a video on here of the difference between resolution and repair. Resolution, we made that decision, we got on the same page, but we don't feel good afterwards. I actually don't want to talk to you for a couple days, even though we know what we're doing. Repair is, hey, the relationship matters no matter what. No matter what decision was made, what compromise or negotiation had to occur, the relationship comes first. And so when we've said something that hurts our partner, even if we didn't intend it, when we do something in autopilot, when we forget something, we take ownership. We're willing to apologize. We're willing to do things to reach towards our partner, then pull away or react to them. And the healthiest couples know that the faster they repair, and even throughout an argument, little repair attempts occurring actually help communication improve a lot between the two of them, make sure that disagreements end a little bit quicker, and not because they're rushing to, like, oh, let's positively reframe, or, but we're softer, we're more vulnerable, and we're willing to share what we really need. And that really helps. The third one, as I referenced earlier, they express appreciation. No one really feels taken for granted because they're intentionally being aware of what their partner's contributing to the relationship. I recently shared with my husband my own appreciation of some things that I think he didn't think I realized he was doing, but I had just never pointed them out. That I see them, that I value them, that even though I don't bring them up, like, I realize how much they make my life easier, my kids' life easier. He's thinking about it without me having to. And he teared up because he was like, wow, like, I really needed to hear that. There's a lot of moments like that for both us and our partners where we feel taken for granted. We don't feel valued. We don't feel seen. And the more that we can start to point those moments out, I see you. Thank you so much for doing those things. Even the mundane, everyday task that you think, well, that's normal. That's what they're just supposed to do. Yeah, be grateful for it. Because frankly, if they weren't in your lives, that thing would not be done and you would have to do it, or you'd maybe find somebody else to do it. But at the end of the day, they're doing it. So even the mundane things they're grateful for, healthy people are able to go, this means something to me. And I am so thankful you're in my life and what you bring to my life matters. Okay, habit number four, they protect the connection. This is a huge one. And I think, as couples, the longer we're together, the more we are in roommate mode, the more we're in survival mode, we can feel defensive, reactive, we can create a distance. And it is protection mode. We're protecting ourselves. We're not protecting the relationship. And the more we can go into this going, I have needs and you have needs. And in the process of getting our needs met, we're also going to protect our relationship. That's important. Protecting connection is also daily and weekly. I'm going to make sure our relationship is a priority. I'm going to check in with you. We're going to do our couples check in weekly that addresses our stress levels and our needs and, hey, some problems that are coming up that we can work on together. They make sure that external things don't impact that relationship time. Sure, your work needs more hours from you, or your extended family is asking you to help more with these things. But if you don't first check in on the relationship, we were going to have a date night that night. No, date night stays. That's important. The rest can come later It's okay. If we don't protect those things, it's so easy to treat our relationship like a rubber ball. And if you've been here a while, then you know I like to treat our relationship like a glass ball because it is. It will break and shatter and not be able to be repaired at some point if we keep dropping it. So treating it like that glass ball is so important. And so they're able to protect that connection. Okay, the fifth habit that healthy couples have is they turn towards each other, not away. And they're able to really accept each other's influence. You have a suggestion for your partner and they listen to it. Not, that's wrong, that won't work. No, well, of course not. You're not getting defensive into your, but like, oh, that's a good idea. Never thought of that. When we're immediately defensive to each other, we're not accepting each other's influence and we're not turning towards each other. And it's so important for us to reflect on why do we turn our back to our partner so quickly? But we'll hear that same advice from someone else. And we'll take it then. My husband loves to say this. You got this advice about it was a long time ago, it was about loading the dishwasher a certain way. And I was like, honey, I read this thing and it's amazing. And he's like, I told you that like 2, 3 years ago, and you told me it was ridiculous. And I'm like, well, I figured it out now. So thank you. I wasn't turning towards him. I wasn't accepting his influence. When we hear our partner just trying to connect with us in the day as well, like, hey, I want to share something about my day. And they're turning towards us. Are we going like, I'm too busy? Are we huffing? Are we trying to fix it immediately? Are we really sitting and listening and caring and asking questions again, right? Do we turn towards each other for influence, for connection? Or do we constantly give each other our backs and go, I'll be with you in a minute? Okay, habit number 6, they laugh together. Do you remember at the beginning of the relationship where it was like light and easy and there was laughter and just funniness and you had inside jokes, right? They're able to bring that back into the relationship 10, 15, 20, 30 years together. They're able to say, do you remember that one time? Yeah. Oh my God, that was so hilarious, right? They're able to tell jokes and not be like, I don't even find that funny anymore. Whew, they're not defensive towards each other with humor. They don't use humor to attack, to put down, to be passive aggressive. They use humor to bring each other towards each other, to laugh and relax. When we laugh, our nervous system relaxes. We can be present for each other and connected. And they're able to do that. And so I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time we laughed together? And what was it about? Is it always external reasons? We were watching something, we were watching a reel or a video, or are we able to make each other laugh? Are we able to say things and do things that allow us to have those full belly laughs like we used to? Okay, habit number 7. They continue to choose each other. Now, I've said this before. What we understand in today's world is that love is a feeling, right? We have this mindset that love, oh, I don't feel in love with you. And I will tell my clients, love is a choice, especially long-term love. Love is a daily I choose you. And often when I'm in an argument with my husband, I will even stop and reflect and have to be like, I choose him. I choose him because my brain will want to go lash out, be reactive, be angry, be hurt, be protective. I don't want to turn towards him. But if I choose you, then my brain goes, but I want him here and I love him and I choose him. I'm not waiting for the feeling of love because that's dopamine and endorphins and that's something else. The feeling of love, it's the knowing of love, it's the wisdom of love. Okay, I choose you. And healthy couples, that 7th habit is that they choose each other every day. They wake up, even if they'd had a fight the night before, and it's like, I choose you. I still choose you. I laugh when people ask me, well, sometimes I think, if I was with somebody else, it would just be easier. And I go, the grass might be greener, but you got to cut it and take care of it, whatever garden you're in. Yes, it can always look like someone might be a better partner, but you're going to show up as you in that relationship too. And your baggage and your issues in this relationship will be there too. And that person's going to trigger them in a whole different way. So, okay, cool. How about you just choose? Choose your partner, choose to want to make it work, choose to want to work on yourself so you show up in your relationship even stronger. I also recognize that, often with these habits, and we're looking at the seven small habits of healthy couples, they can feel really big because it's felt like a drought in our relationship for so long. And it can feel like you've been in the desert for a week and I'm giving you like a little shot glass of water with each little habit. And so, like, seven little shot glasses of water. And you're like, that's not enough. We need deeper things to make more connection. But I tell you, these seven habits, when done daily, within a week or two, you're going to feel like a whole different couple. It's believing in it, it's showing up intentionally every day in your relationship and saying, I choose you. I'm grateful for you. Let's laugh together. Let's spend time together, right? Let's turn towards each other. Let's stay curious about each other. All the things that are heart open towards each other rather than I'm turning my back to you. Mm-mm. No, they feel so difficult when connection has been lost for so long. So I would say maybe just pick two or three. Maybe it starts with trying to add humor back into your relationship. Maybe it's more about, hey, I'm going to say something I'm grateful for once in the day, every day, or we're going to make it a habit together. Maybe it's we're going to start doing our couples check in once a week. And instead of talking about project mode and all the things that need to get done, we're actually going to see how we're doing, ask each other about our dreams and what we've been reading about and what we're interested in. Even if we're not interested in it too, I still value you. So I want to listen to what it is that's important to you, right? Pick just a couple of these habits, and then you're going to see, I'm softening. My brain isn't so much, mayday, mayday, like he's the villain or she's the villain and I'm the victim. It's going to say, oh, actually, this is more collaborative. We can start to work on our relationship. And there's probably some hard conversations that need to happen. I don't doubt it. I work with couples every week that have hard conversations to have, but it's not one or the other. You can have hard conversations and be making these little habit changes, these seven little things to improve and have a healthier relationship so that you strengthen the foundation of your communication, of your connection, of your trust, of your respect, all the core areas of a relationship, while also cleaning house. Hey, we got to throw that out. That's not working. That resentment, nope. That piece right there where that habit pattern we're in, where you say one thing and I get defensive and then you shut down and we don't talk for days. Nope, we got to throw that out too. That doesn't work. But if we don't create some of these healthy, positive habits, then we start to address negative, negative, negative. And that's all it feels like our relationship is about. Yeah. So, Color Maiden, you asked, but what about when one person doesn't understand the concept of choosing? This is very normal. Again, in our culture and society today, there's this belief of it's got to be this feeling. We have to feel this way. And if I don't feel it, then it's not there. And I think it's as simple as understanding brain chemistry and the science behind love. And there's great research out there. And understanding that it is a choice. A commitment literally is that. It's a choice. I choose you. And of course we could do the in sickness and health and good or bad, blah blah blah. But I choose you. A commitment is a choice. And so you have to go, okay, I've made this choice. I can either choose to live very negatively in it and it feel horrible all the time and I feel like I'm walking on eggshells and I'm annoyed and frustrated, or I can start to move towards my partner and collaborate. So when one doesn't understand the concept of choosing, and I mean, you could obviously give the, hey, let's look at the science of love, but you could also say, well, what can we do to make our relationship a space where we both feel safe? We're happy to be here, even if it's just on more of a friendship level. because roommates are not friends. I mean, they're kind of, but they're not, right? Roommates are like, you do you, I got me, whatever. But like close, like best friends, let's build that. That's curious questions. Checking in. How was your day? What's going on? How did that thing go? Remembering what your partner said last week and bringing it back to the conversation now. There are always going to be tough cases. There will always be situations in which a partner is just completely anti some new habit. And that's because they're scared of getting hurt again. Often that's what that's around. So, Color Maiden, thank you for sharing your story. This happened with my ex 3.5 years ago. I told him love is a choice, and he said that his friend had said the same thing. He was unwilling. Some people are not willing to budge on that. That's their belief system. No, it's a feeling and it must be this way. That's fine. Sadly, that person lost you. And maybe it's for the better. I don't know. Only you can decide that, right? But it isn't about a feeling because I don't know about you guys, but I can get really, really angry and testy and frustrated. And then I eat something and I feel a lot better. Does that mean that all that anger was absolutely true? Well, I might have been irritated about something, but the anger level of what it was, that feeling, no, that was actually a response to a deficiency in my body. I needed food. So when we're new in a relationship, everything's new and exciting. Adrenaline, dopamine, all the like, whew, yeah, this is why people love affairs. Not everybody, but the people in the affairs, it's like it's exciting, the secrecy, the fun. Yeah, it's a feeling. It goes away. There's a point where you wake up and you're like, "Oh, I got to deal with your crap too. This is no fun. This isn't what I thought it was." You're still the same person. You're still going to show up in the same way, and it's going to be a challenge. So, Color Maiden, I hope that whatever the next relationship for you is, and maybe you're in that you find someone who understands that love is a choice and not just a feeling. It's a feeling in the beginning. That's fun, but then it's a choice to stick with someone and show up. Very good. If you've got any more questions, feel free to comment below and let me know. And again, if you would like to dive further, I welcome you into my paid community where we every week have a rebuild method, specific detailed thing, workbook, questions, scripts for you and your partner to work through so that you've got something over the weekend to build your relationship. And they're always bite-sized, so it's easy to do. Tomorrow's we're going to be doing the connection habit audit. Because again, some connection techniques that we use on each other, we think we're using them, they're not working. They're actually making things worse. They're making things more challenging in our relationship. So being able to do a real audit and look honestly at those things helps us not waste energy on stuff that's not working and start putting our energy into what is working. Okay, I will see you guys next Thursday for our free workshop, and I hope to see you tomorrow for the connection audit.